Good afternoon and welcome to Bull Market Stock Show. This is your host Rian, and I'm just actually doing a quick one on the US dollar that actually gaining some serious momentum now currently. And it's actually nailing actually currencies, especially the Euro, British Pound, New Zealand, and also the Australian, even Canada is actually nailing. But there were some very important statistics actually that came through. One was actually the job claims number that fell actually below 400. That is a big number. That the job claims number that fell actually below the 400 mark. And then also we have the ADP non-farm payrolls that normally comes out on the Wednesday. That number actually came out at 978. And the forecast was at 400,000, and it came out close to a million. So that is massive, a massive number. The other thing is also that actually struck me was the unit labor cost quarter over quarter. That number came out at 1.7%. The forecast was at a negative digit number, and it came actually in at 1.7%. So that means that the unit labor cost actually improved, and it actually increased drastically. So which means that the wages actually increase, and that is actually maybe one of the components that could have actually lifted up the unit labor cost, and that actually gives a clear sign that the wages are actually increasing. Now, there's a lot of variance that goes in with wages. It can be the shortage of labor, that could be one. Shortage of labor normally creates actually wages to go up, but that number of a 1.7 number, the revised unit labor cost that came in, that is for me a big number. So it shows that the people, the entrepreneurs or the employers are actually paying people much more. And that is actually a damning number, and that's why the dollar is actually pushing quite hard. And I think definitely the dollar will actually persist today. I see there's a bit of a slight retracement after the number of the ISM services PMI. Now, the services PMI is your hospitality industry, like for example, your hotels, restaurants, bars, those type of things. So that is where your services PMI comes in. And your services PMI came out quite positive at 64, and the forecast was at 63. So that shows that the services sector in the United States is actually literally flying. It's booming. So which means it could be that because it's summer, hotels are booked, people are going out, the vaccinations are going well in the United States, and those things are actually driving up the dollar. Now, the reason why I actually came on now is that I picked up tomorrow, Jerome Powell is talking at 1 o'clock South African time. And he and actually Lagarde, the ECB chair, the two of them are talking at 1 o'clock. And I think he will start to use the word tapering more. Or he will say it himself, because the last time it came out of minutes. That news will break out at 1 o'clock tomorrow. And that is now before the non-farmers payrolls number, which will be actually at 2:30 South African time. So it could be that the dollar will start to move also tomorrow before the announcement or before Jerome Powell is talking. And whatever he says tomorrow, whether he used the word tapering, I think he will. That words alone, whatever the NFP number is tomorrow at 2:30, if he says the word tapering at 1 o'clock, basically the non-farmers payroll number will be invalid, because then the dollar will move straight up, because we will expect a tapering coming in June if he used the word tapering. So I'm just with that thing, I'm a bit scary with that 1 o'clock news, because I know now the central bank, I would say his talks have much more weight on the economic data. And I think once he use the word tapering, I think that is where the dollar will start to move even more aggressively. But for now, I think the dollar will move quite aggressively today, with an anticipation that the news will be good tomorrow. And I think it will move quite aggressively against your other currencies, your Nasdaq, your equities. I think that will also fall because of a strong dollar, because that is what normally happens with a strong dollar. Strong dollar wipe out everything, commodities, equities, you name it. Strong dollar is not good for equities because obviously of the Federal Reserve that will tighten up. So for now, I think you have to bank in, as I always been saying. I think your best bet is actually the US dollar. That's it for now. I see you guys tomorrow at 1. Hopefully there's no load shedding. And then I will see you guys at about 1:30 tomorrow. And hopefully the Federal Reserve chair is using the word tapering. Strong dollar, bank on it. That is what I said the whole time. And I think it will just get better. Bye-bye.